Right, Vice President Harris may be unburdened by what has been, but burdened by the debate rules that she is.
So what is that she is so afraid of? Well, for one, microphones will be muted. There will be no live audience, no notes for her to read something some staffer wearing a lanyard wrote for her. Just pen, paper, and water for each candidate on the stage. And this part will be hard for Mrs. Word Casserole. 2-minute answers, 2-minute rebuttals, and 1 minute for follow-ups and clarifications.
Let's bring in Fox News contributor and opinion editor for the Washington Times, Charlie Hurt, and former Pennsylvania congressman and a Democrat and a friend of mine, Patrick Murphy. Both of you, welcome to the show. Charlie, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to let Patrick get warmed up a little bit for you. What do you expect tonight? Is Kamala Harris going to actually go after Donald Trump, call him a whole bunch of names, try to get under his skin, or is she going to try to lay out her policies, her vision for America?
Well, I think that the reason that her campaign is so upset about having the muted mics is precisely for that reason, because their whole campaign strategy was she was going to try to get under his skin and have these ridiculous moments where she tries to not only bait him into saying something to her, but also where she can have another one of those great moments like she had with Mike Pence last time. Excuse me, I'm speaking, as if that's like a great way to win over voters. But what's so funny about this is that, to your point, it has absolutely nothing to do with anything voters care about. It has nothing to do with closing the border. It has nothing to do with lowering gas prices. It has nothing to do with fixing inflation. That's all the Harris campaign has to focus on, is trying to come up with some sort of gotcha trick to try to get Donald Trump to say something that will hurt him, because they can't actually address him on any of the issues.
Patrick, it's good to see you. I thought Kamala Harris first needed a debate with herself, where the current version of Kamala Harris needed to debate the version before Joe Biden dropped out of the race, or she needs to go back and debate the 2019 version of herself when she was running to be elected to some Politburo somewhere.
Hey, Dagen, it's great to be on with you. And Sean, it's my inaugural debut on the Bottom Line, so thanks so much for having me. Listen, I think she is a strong leader. As you know, she was a prosecutor, frontline prosecutor, and the most sacred duty of our government is to keep our families safe. And that's what she has done, not just as a prosecutor, not just as Attorney General, not just a U.S. Senator, but has been a consequential Vice President. Now, let's be clear, though. She is the underdog in this race tonight. She's going against a former president who's going to try and talk over her. He's going to try and bully her. But we all know they're going to stand toe-to-toe, and my money is on the vice president.
Well, to keep us safe, Patrick, I'm going to give you some pushback, because opening the border, letting all these criminals into the country, that is not keeping us safe. Sky-high inflation over 20% in 3.5 years, that is not keeping the American family financially safe. But we're going to move on, because...
Or the 13 Gold Star family members who were in Washington today. They're dead service members who we mourn daily. Not kept safe by Kamala Harris.
Well, I want to get to this, because Kamala Harris, she's the queen of flip-flopping. To this day, she's still changing her stances. But Team Harris says it's not Harris you should actually be worried about. It's Trump.
He'll have to answer for some of his positions. Why all of a sudden is he for no taxes on tips when his administration tried to take tips away from tip workers and give it to their bosses? You know, why is he changing his position on an abortion ban in Florida 2 times within a 24-hour span? I mean, these are the kind of things that Donald Trump's going to have to answer for.
And Charlie, 80,000 new IRS agents to tax everyone who makes tips. And again, Kamala Harris was actually later to the game on that issue. I love the political spin, but it becomes a joke when these are the arguments that are made.
Yeah.
And that's what I think what you're
not
seeing.
Not only are you stealing...
Go ahead, Charlie.
Not only is the Harris campaign stealing a platform idea that was completely come up by Donald Trump. But then they're going to turn it around and try to turn it into an even bigger issue and try to accuse Trump of being a flip-flopper. It is absolutely ridiculous. They're taking crazy pills. I get it. It's nearly impossible. Patrick does as good a job as anybody at defending this woman. But it's impossible to defend her. So this is the kind of stuff you have to say, and it makes no sense. And I think your average voter looks at this and just sort of shakes their head and maybe chuckles or something. I don't know.
It's kind of Go ahead, Patrick.
I mean, Dagen, I would just say, listen, we all see politicians in Washington, D.C. It is, watch what they do, not what they say. And Donald Trump is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the wall to see what would stick. This is the reality. They have brought back the economy that was at a brink of disaster. Most economists said it was going to go into recession. It didn't. We had a soft landing. Do we need to do more work? Absolutely. But let's be very clear. The economy is moving in the right direction. The inflation is down to 3%. It was up at 9%. We created 15 million new jobs in America. We lost 10 million under Trump. There is a lot of work to do, but that's why this debate tonight is so important.
When Donald Trump left office at the end of 2020, the economy was growing in that quarter north of 4%. And that is one of the biggest lies that Democrats have told in the last 3.5 years, that the economy was at death's door, that $2 trillion American Rescue Plan did not need to get passed. And that is exactly what juiced inflation. And manufacturing has been in a recession for almost 2 years.
Dagen, Donald Trump
fact.
and only Donald Trump raised. The fact is that he raised the debt $8 trillion. Our debt's now $35 trillion.
We had a run, but that was during COVID.
But
it was come on. The Democrats want to shut down the economy. All right, we do have to run. Patrick, love that you came on the show tonight. Your debut, you're fantastic. You have a tough job, but you do it okay. And Charlie Hurt, thank you for being here as well. You guys are the best. Thank you.